Comfey farming up, the opponent attempts to make a very nice catch onto Azumeril. Oh, trainer. If you think this is a Comfey answer, you're about to find out very quickly it is not. The first grass knot gets Azumeril below half health, and the second one's gonna get Azu out of here. Welcome back to the channel. It's that time in the week where we shoutcast the king of entertainment's battles, my good friend Ty. We're going to be taking a look at the Fantasy Cup, or more like, should we call it the Azumeril Cup? Shout out Callum for that reference, and he is absolutely right, because it is on every single team. Other than Azumeril, you're going to see plenty of Tapu Fini, not as many, and the only reason for that is probably because it's not that accessible. Trust me, if people had access to it, they'd definitely run it. The third most common pick, other than probably Registeel, is going to be Flygon, and Comfey does a very nice job of core breaking the Azumeril Flygon core. Team partners for Comfey today are going to be Shadow Scizor in the lead, running Trailblaze, also looking to do big damage to Azumeril. Around in the team off, we've got Lucario for that Registeel coverage. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game number one, we're off to a very spicy start, leading Shadow Scizor into Azumeril. Just kidding. Our target, though, has been acquired. We fire off the Trailblaze, landing for huge damage. The opponent builds up to a potential Hydro Pump, and we see Ty deploy that Protect Shield. The opponent bait with a Play Rough. However, it doesn't really matter as Trailblaze has a 100% chance to vamp up our attack, and we do commit to the full Bullet Punch farm down. The opponent now sends out Registeel. Ty farms up to the back-to-back Night Slashes. This is now boosted. Night Slash lands for decent damage. We get another boost. Let's go. The very attack-weighted Scizor now has a 3-stage attack buff. The opponent invests that protection on the next Night Slash, but Scizor still not done. Able to reach one further Night Slash, getting Registeel's final protection. We then see the aggressive pivot into Lucario. I like this pivot a lot, because the opponent has no protection as the hide behind, and Lucario can hit everything in this meta for huge damage. Speaking of which, out comes Tapu Fini, and Tapu Fini is going to be met with a Shadow Ball to the face. Shadow Ball near one-shots. The opponent's going to be forced to dump a Surf, and this is going to be game over. Ty's just going to send out his Comfey. Comfey's going to get a little running start on energy. Unfortunately, our moves are resisted by Registeel, but despite that, we can tank any one move. We're going to outpace to the back-to-back charge, and he's back out. Comes Registeel. We're going to fire off the Grass Knot. Registeel, of course, will survive this. However, so will we, so we're kind of just playing out the inevitable. The opponent going to fire off the Zap Cannon, fishing for the attack drop, which they're going to get because Registeel abusers always get the RNG luck, but despite that, we Vine Whip farm down and take that game. In the next battle, we see the battle of the Steel types. Scizor into Magnezone, aka the UFO. This isn't the best matchup for us. However, we do manage to outpace, and if the opponent gets greedy, firing off Mirror Shots, this now turns into somewhat of a better matchup. Trainer, you need to Wild Charge. The opponent gets greedy, fire off the Mirror Shot. We withstand the damage, and Scizor's now not only going to force a Protect Shield, but land some decent neutral damage. The next Night Slash gets Magnezone into the yellow. We send out Lucario. Oof. On 1 HP, they do make a Wild Charge. The Ty is going to be forced to give his shield back. We're now in the 1-to-1 shield. However, Lucario has an energy lead. The opponent sends out Flygon. Ty builds up to the Shadow Ball, baits with the Blaze Kick. A poor defensive attack, loses its life, but Ty, evidently the best master hitter in the world. We then see the pivot into Comfey. We see the instant no shield deployed. Ouch, Earth Power hurts. The opponent then switch out into Azumeril, attempting to catch a charge move. If the opponent think Azumeril is a Comfey counter, they're very quickly about to find out it is not. The first Grass Knot gets Azu below half health. We're already at the second Grass Knot. Get that Azumeril out of here. Back out comes Flygon. Can the opponent Mud Shot farm us down? It doesn't look like it, so they're forced to throw a charge move. The opponent fires off the double resisted Dragon Claw, which does secure the knockout. Back out comes Lucario. The opponent's going to be going straight Dragon Claw all the way, but Ty very wisely saved his Protect Shield. We're then able to reach the Blaze Kick. Blaze Kick is resisted, but more than enough to secure the dub. GG's, and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, we see Scizor into Clefable. What a lead. The opponent instantly retreat into Azumeril. We're 3 battles in, and we're 3 for 3 on Azu. Despite this meta only having 3 typings, I think this cup could be quite fun if you just ban Registeel and Azumeril. However, Niantic, being Niantic, thought, fuck it, let's make a Azumeril Cup, as everyone has it and it's going to be great fun. It really isn't. So I tank the first charge move. He's going to opt to shield the next one, commit to the full Vine Whip farm down, and leave with a whole heap of energy good to go. We know Clefable will be returning. Ty going to fire off the Draining Kiss. I think Draining Kiss is an absolutely terrible move. Let's take a look at this matchup, for example. Draining Kiss does get same type attack bonus. However, it's only 0.9 DP. Non-stab Grass Knot would actually be 1.24 DP, so you always want to throw Grass Knots. The only time you want to throw Draining Kiss if it's super effective and the opponent has no Protect Shields to hide behind. Tai still has the perfect alignment. He sends out Scizor, the opponent pivots out into Lucario, and we enter the mirror. This is going to be a tap-tap, fast move beatdown all the way. The opponent has power-up punch, but Tai should still get a Simul KO, which he does. Just Clefable does return. Can Scizor tank a charge move? We're so glassy. Come on, Scizor, I believe. However, hopes and dreams, unfortunately, don't get us the dub. GG's to that opponent. In the next battle, we see a huge core breaker. Escavalier beats all three of our Pokemon. However, the most common team with Escavalier is double Water Fairy in the back. So we can get rid of this thing. Comfey might be able to sweep the back line. We land the Night Slash, which is a pretty good start. Come on, trainer. Acid Spray us. Oof, what a greedy bait. We then see the aggressive pivot into Lucario and get the counter farm down. Tai's managed to get rid of, hopefully, the biggest threat to our back line. The opponent sends out Skarmory. What a strange team comp. ABA Steel. Evidently Turtonator is a myth. Speaking of which, Tai certainly thinks it's a myth as well, as we're also triple weak. We land the Blaze Kick, shield up the Sky Attack, commit to the full counter farm down. What does the opponent have as their third? Oh, trainer. Triple Steel. The opponent's going to say, no thank you, I'm out of here, and concede the match. In the next battle, we see the battle of the Shadow Steel types. Shadow Magneton, a very cool flex. Tai farms up, fires off the Night Slash, of course forcing a Protect Shield. The opponent looking for the full Volt Switch farm down, but Scizor says no, reaches Night Slash number 2, and we manage to get all shields down. We're now sending Lucario, the opponent pivot out into Azumeril. Banking all of their energy, Tai opts for the same play, banking his Shadow Ball and sending out Comfey. We see the instant no shield deployed. The opponent fire off the play rough. Comfey not the bulkiest, but we do at least tank one. We then throw one Vine Whip and the Grass Knot for optimal fast move timing, leaving Azumeril into the red. Tough decision to make. Tai has 2 Protect Shields, but it looks like he's putting it all on Lucario. Play rough does secure the knockout. Back out comes Lucario, looking for the resisted counter farm down, which we get. If the opponent sends back out the Magnet, they're actually going to be denied all of this energy, as Lucario has an even higher attack stat. The opponent smartly bring out the third, which is Flygon. They absorb the Blaze Kick, however they don't make a catch. Shadow Ball going to be huge overkill. Lucario is going to be able to counter farm down Magneton, and Tai takes the dub. GG's. So fun fact of the day, if you're going to use a Hatch IV Lucario, which of course is going to be a base 10-10-10, you can have 146 attack. Even if Magneton has a 15 attack, we're going to reach around 145.7, so you're always going to win CMP. In the next battle, we see Scizor into Sandslash. The opponent builds up to the drill on baits with the Ice Punch. We then land the Night Slash. Tai looks to get Sandslash out of here, but the opponent makes a nice catch, catching Night Slash number 2 onto the mighty Blue Mouse. I like this play from Tai, banking a charge move before sending out Comfey. Scizor, much like Lucario, has a monstrous attack stat. 138 in the Great League, so unless the opponent's got Lucario themselves or Magneton, we're probably going to win CMP, so that's a clutch play. We tank the play rough, send out Comfey, fire off the Grass Knot, get that Azu out of here. We know Sandslash will be returning, however they're going to be forced to throw a charge move. The opponent's counting absolutely on point. They throw the Ice Punch on the CMP Tai. I imagine Tai's going to look to snipe with Lucario. The opponent shows cat-like reflexes, pivoting before we're able to get the snipe. However, Flygon certainly does not appreciate these counters either. The opponent full send the Scorching Sands. Tai continuing to counter away and makes a savage catch, catching Scorching Sands number 2 onto Scizor, and Lucario is going to be able to counter farm down everything, and the opponent is going to save 2 shields for next season. GG's. As always, stay in school, kids, and learn to count. Flygon, if it's on Scorching Sands, it's going to take 6-6, then 5. If they're on Earth Power, it's going to be 7-6-6. Heading into the next battle. Fuck my life. Azumeril once again. The opponent does us a huge favour, sending out Escavalier. Tai, very happy with the energy lead, fires off the first Night Slash. The second Night Slash forces the Protect Shield on the CMP Tai. That's just how attack weighted Scizor is, as Escavalier usually heads away in CMP ties. However, unfortunately, not when faced with Scizor. Tai gets the counter farm down with Lucario, and he's spamming out the switch into Comfey, anticipating Azumaril returning, which it does, and this opponent is going to be switch locked. Tai farms up, throws the Grass Knot on the CMP Tai. We've seen Grass Knot lands for huge damage, getting Azumaril below half health. Tai with 2-to-1 shield advantage, going to invest a protection on the Comfey. I imagine the opponent pivots. They're staying in. They must be weak to Comfey in the back. Tai, recognising that, going to invest his final protection on the player after the opponent then sends out Lucario. Tai goes straight for the neutral Draining Kiss. Lucario is incredibly glassy, but Draining Kiss is a shit move. Will it knock out? To find out, we're going to have to survive this Blaze Kick. Come on, Comfey, please survive! Oof, 1 HP in a dream, we do survive. Is Draining Kiss enough to knock out? Holy crap, nowhere near, but we send out Lucario, get the counter farm down, back out, comes Azumarill, and Ty is going to fire off the BM Shadow Ball and take that game. Holy cow, Draining Kiss, what a shit move. Draining Kiss is by far the worst type fairy move in the game. It's 55 energy for 60 damage, Disarming Voice, 45 energy for 70, and you've got two 60 energy fairy moves with Moonblast and Play Rough. Play Rough not the best, 60-90, Moonblast a pretty good move. At 60-110, also have a 10% chance to lower the attack. In the next battle, we see Scizor into Flygon. Interestingly enough, the opponent's going straight Dragon Claw. So Ty sticks his middle finger up, says, fuck you, I've got a fairy, and we're going to make the double resisted catch onto it. The opponent try their luck, are making a catch of their own, and send out Azumeril. Old trainer, that's a mistake. We fire off the first Grass Knot, landing for big damage. Comfey so far in energy, able to outpace Azumeril to Grass Knot. Number 2, get that Azumeril out of it as it was straight in and straight out. What a beautiful sight to see. The opponent sends back out Flygon. Is this double Water Fairy? Ty could shield this and look to Vine Whip farm down. Instead, he's putting all his hopes and dreams onto Lucario. Out comes Lucario. Lucario gets the counter farm down. And it is double Water Fairy. Ty not baiting, full sending the Shadow Ball. Does the opponent respect the damage? They do not. And that is going to be all she wrote. And that is going to draw to a close today's showcase. As always, Ty bringing that fire with some incredible anti-meta spice. If you're getting bored of this Fantasy Cup, I'd recommend running triple Azumeril counters, or at least a team that is very strong into Azumeril, as it's here, there, and every fucking where. And this meta is getting very stale very quickly. However, if you enjoy my content, I'd appreciate if you smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, link to a battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching. And I will see you all in the next one.